Hey guys, it's me again, and today I'm going to be telling you my thoughts on 2021. So yeah, and before I start this review, I'd like to wish you all a happy new year. Yep, it's now 2022 and it's a new year and a new start for most of us actually. So yeah, happy new year everyone. And let's begin the review. 2021. Where do I even begin with this year? No, no, seriously, where do I even begin with it? I have loads of things to say about 2021, so where should I start? Um, the fact that January is my least favorite month, probably. And yes, January is my least favorite month, guys, in case if you didn't know, because it was just a bad start to last year because we were still in lockdown and schools closed, shops closed. Well, not all shops, but you probably know what I mean. Cinemas were closed, restaurants were closed. What else? Um, Theaters were closed, and what else? I think that's it. And during that time, I had to do online classes in school. Like I had to do I had to do teams on my school, which 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 began on January 13th and ended on February 12th, which it was alright, but it's not as good as actual school. But if we were in lockdown again, then I wouldn't really mind it. And how come we didn't do that in the first lockdown? I don't understand. I don't know. Um, I'm trying to think what I'm gonna say. Um, what else? Um, oh yeah, and my birthday was in January as well. And to be honest, I had a decent birthday. It wasn't the best birthday, but it was still okay. And I even had a birthday drive-through this year, guys. I mean, last year, which it was pretty cool. And I was originally gonna have a party last year, but it got postponed plenty of times. And hopefully this year I'll have a party. Fingers crossed, guys. And yeah, and I got some pretty cool presents for my birthday, like you've seen in my birthday video from last year. Like I got a cat piano, a Princess Peach plush, which was the wrong scale, and I got myself a new phone, but we had to return it back in February because there was a glitch in it, so that sucks. But luckily I got a new phone for Christmas, I'm I'm gonna be using that phone for probably filming and stuff. So yeah. And what else can I think about of January? Well, yeah, I did a lot of walking in January. Like I did a lot of walking around the football pitch because I was really bored at the time because I didn't have anything to do. And yeah. And I also did a lot of videos on my Classic Thomas FTW Thomas and Friends Season 25 FTL channel. Like I did a lot of SML reactions, Thomas reactions, and I even started the Fireman Sam reaction series. So that's pretty cool. And we also got the teaser trailer to All Engines Go, which that sucked. And even worse, guys, the original Thomas series got cancelled last year and replaced with that Oompa Loompa. But again, if you like All Engines Go, which I doubt it, I respect your opinion. So yeah, the reason why I say I doubt it because there's an equal amount of people who like it and a further equal that don't like it. And I really understand why because that ruined the original Thomas show. I don't like it at all. but I'll save that for another day. And what else could I think about in January? I think that's it. And in February, however, it was just boring as usual. There was nothing special about February. Oh yeah, and well, there may be only one thing that I kind of liked is that we went back to school. Well, only my unit went back to school. There was only 6 of us that came back. The other student didn't came back until a week after, and then the other 9 didn't come back. The other 2 didn't come back until April. But we'll get to that when we talk about March and April. So yeah, I'm really glad that I went back to school then because I was getting really bored and I couldn't take any second of it anymore, being stuck in the house 24/7. And yeah, and there wasn't really a lot of students. There was just only like 6 of us, so we had the whole school to ourselves, which that was pretty cool. And yeah, and then March came along. I don't really know what to say about March. March was, I'd say it was okay. Um, I started to do my youth club Zoom calls because my youth club was, the place I go to my youth club was still closed, so we had to do Zoom calls from it, which only lasted for 3 months, which was in March, April, May, and June. So yeah, 3 months. And honestly, I didn't really mind it at all. It wasn't great as going to the youth club, but I still pretty enjoyed it. And what else? And it only happened every 2 weeks instead of once a week, which that kind of sucked. But nonetheless, I still enjoyed it. And what else? Um. Oh yeah, and I'm trying to think what happened in March. Um. March. Um, I started to watch Total Drama all over again, which I've been watching it quite a lot this year, so yeah, really enjoyed it. And what else? Um, in March, it was St. Patrick's Day, and there was no parade again because, lockdown. Hopefully this year there'll be a parade, which I doubt there will be, but we'll just have to wait and see. And March is 2 months away from now, so we'll have to see what the government says. And what else happened in March, if I can remember. Um, uh, I don't really know, to be honest. There wasn't really anything special about March other than just making videos, walking, blah blah blah. Yeah, we're moving on to the next month. April, however, um, April was eh, I April was okay-ish, I guess. It wasn't really the best, but it was okay at best. But there were a few things that I liked about April. Like I really enjoyed Easter, even though I'm not really a fan of Easter that much. And and I went to have my own place for the first time since December. Like we went to the place in Balbriggan, which I forgot what it was called. It was like this park area, this big park, and a few of my cousins went, and we had a really good time, and it was a really sunny day as well. And that's when the weather started to improve. Like I started to wear sunglasses, which those sunglasses broke, which I'm probably gonna buy some more this year. And yeah, I really had a good time in April. And also my 2 friends went back to school, which Andrew Goodguy came back to school and my other friend did. And yes, Andrew Goodguy does come to my school. I'm not gonna tell you what school it is because it's private. I'm just telling you. And what else? Let me think. April. I'm trying to think what I'm supposed. Oh yeah, and I got some of my birthday presents with my own birthday money that you seen back in April when I got in Minute, like in Tesco's, the range, you know. So yeah, that's all I can think about what happened in April. And in May, however, that's when things start to get really, really better. May, well, I'd say May was pretty good, but the only bad day from May was the 3rd of February. I really had a bad day, which I'm not going to talk about because don't really fancy talking about it because I because it's personal, so I don't really want to talk about it. And what I really like May is that not only that I ended school, no, I'm not done school. Like I mean, when I'm done my not only did I finish junior cert, I meant I I went to Smith's again after let's say 5 months since I've last been to Smith's, and I got all my birthday presents, and I also got them in Tesco's as well as you've seen back in May, and yeah. And that's when the time that I started to upload more on this channel because, you know, to dedicate the 5th anniversary of this channel. And yeah, May was a pretty decent month, I guess. And yeah. And what else am I meant to say? I think that's it. May was pretty good. June, however, that's when things start to really improve. Like, I went to go to the cinema again after 6 months, and the first film I saw in cinemas this year was Tom and Jerry. Oh, and in May I watched The Mitchells versus the Machines for the very first time, and me and my family went to Laytown for the day, and it was pretty fun. And The Mitchells versus the Machines is a pretty good movie. And sorry I forgot to clarify that in May. And in June, I was really glad to see Tom and Jerry in the cinema, and it was great to see it and it was great to be back in the cinema again after so long. So yeah, I really miss the cinema so much, and I've been going to this. I've been going to the cinema. I've been going to the cinema quite frequently this year, and you've probably seen in my videos I uploaded yesterday on what I saw in the cinema this last year, and yeah, it was pretty cool. And what else? Oh yeah, and it was my mom's 50th birthday party, and I gotta say that was probably the best day I've had last year. It was probably one of my number one favorite days of last year. I really enjoyed that day, and Andrew Goodguy came to my house, and we had a blast. I'll never forget that day. It was really good. All of my mum's family and friends came over, and we just had a really good time, honestly. And I'll never forget what happened on that day, which was the 5th of June. So yeah. And what else am I supposed to say about? Oh yeah, I started production on the Mario Show season 5, which the production is still on hold. Which production will come back, but yeah. And what else? Oh yeah, me and my oh yeah, and also another highlight about June is that I got a new dog named Poppy, and she's a Jack Russell, which I hadn't had a dog since 2015. The last dog I had was Tony, and then he moved away, but now we have Poppy, and she can be a bit of a rascal at times, but she's very cute. I don't know when I can show you a photo of her, even if not if I'm even allowed to, but yeah, she's pretty cute, honestly. And yeah. Oh yeah, and I also went and what else am I meant to say? I've been doing a lot of shopping in June, And yeah, and what else? Oh yeah, and I also got into Tutu Corey Carson, or Go Go Corey Carson is what it's called in the US. And when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be way too babyish, and I gave it a shot. And after when I watched it, I loved it, and I watched the show over and over and over and over again, which I find it one of the most cutest kids shows from this generation. You know, like the 2020s. Most toddler shows these days are pretty much generic and babyish and teach bad morals. But this show, however, teaches the kids right morals, like you like how to share and be nice and be polite to others. And yeah, it was a really cute show. But if you hate it, I respect your opinion. And I also went to I also went to Bray back in June, and I had a pretty fun time, and it was a really hot day as well. So yeah, really enjoyed it. And I also got to manage to meet with my youth club again, and we went to Tower Hill together, and it was pretty damp. Not saying that I hate it, but the weather was miserable. But I still had a fun day meeting up with most of my friends that I haven't seen in person since a year at that point. So it was really fun to reunite with them. So yeah, and what else? Um, I've been uploading videos quite a lot in June, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about June. Now we're moving on to July, and that's when things start to get really big. July, however, was pretty good. I did quite a lot back in July. Like, I saw a lot of movies. The movies I saw in July were Space Jam 2, Raya and the Last Dragon, Fast and Furious 9, and Cruise the New Age. So that's four movies that I saw back in July. And yeah, and what else happened in July? I started to do my DVD menus again. That was pretty good, and the weather was absolutely beautiful most of the month. And yeah, July was pretty good. And another highlight about July is that I went to go to Donegal again to Bally Buffet, which I had a really fun time there. I really enjoyed it, and 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 you guys probably knew that I stayed in the Jackson Hotel there, and it was a pretty cool hotel, not gonna lie. And the room that we stayed in was really nice. Like, we had a balcony outside, which you guys pretty much knew, and yeah, it was a pretty cool hotel. And we also got to see our relatives as well, and it was pretty cool. So yeah, and we did a lot there. Like, we went to the beach, and what else did we? We went out to the pub, had dinners. We also did surfing as well, which that was pretty fun. And what else can I think of? Um, I'm trying to think. Oh, and we went to the Fun Fair in Bundoran, which was the hotel that I stayed in back in 2017, as most of you guys could remember. Well, my older fans that have been my friends since 2016, as you probably remember. And yeah. And sorry if this video is a bit too long, but I forgot to mention in the video that it's going to be a long video of me explaining about what's going to be happening, because I have quite a lot to say about this year. So why don't you pause the video now and grab some popcorn or drinks or whatever, and enjoy the video. So yeah, and going back to July, what else happened in July? That happened in Donegal. Um, I'm trying to think. Um, I did mention about the surfing thing, and I didn't enjoy one bit of it because the water was really choppy and there were lots of jellyfish in it, and I was worried that the jellyfish were gonna sting me. And after the last wave, I decided to get out because I couldn't take any more of it. And we also celebrated my sister's 10th birthday there, so it was quite fun. And 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 a crazy story, guys. When we were about to do the cake accidentally fell, and we had to get a new cake, which that was pretty weird, but funny at the same time. So yeah. And what else happened in Donegal? Oh yeah, and we also did the water bouncy castles, which it was pretty fun, I guess. Pretty had a fun time, even though the water was very salty, and and it was really deep, and it wasn't the water park that I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be an indoor water park like Water World that I went to back in 2017 in the Holly Road Hotel, but that's closed. Not like permanently, but probably due to COVID. Yeah. And what else happened in Donegal? Um. Uh. Oh yeah, me and my brother and my dad went to have a drive, which we pretty much didn't know where we were because we're not aware of Donegal because we've only been there like 3 times. Like that was my third holiday in Donegal. The first time I had it was back in 2013, then 2017, and then last year. So yeah, and we had a drive around the county, and it was pretty cool, I guess. And we had a chipper, and yeah, and I also went swimming quite a lot in the hotel, and the swimming pool's pretty nice. Not big, but still pretty good. Still pretty cool. And yeah. And then the 30th of July came, and it was the last, and we had to go and we had to say goodbye to everyone, and it was pretty sad, but we will come back again sometime. And yeah. And before we went to Home Savers, which that was the first time I've ever heard about Home Savers, and Home Savers is a really cool shop. But you probably seen what I got in Home Savers back in July. It was pretty cool, and yeah, and Poppy was really excited to see us again after like almost a week at that point, which we were originally going to go home on a Saturday, but my mom decided to come home early because because it was my granny's birthday the day before we go home. So she wants to come back home in time for her birthday. And yeah. And I also got into Go Dog Go back in July. And Go Dog Go is a pretty cool show. It's probably another one of my favorite shows from this generation. And yeah. And what else? I think that's all I have to say about July. Now we're moving on to August. I pretty much had quite a lot to say about July, but oh yeah, and I forgot to mention I went to Crow Park in July, and it was pretty fun. So yeah, I went to the Meath versus Dublin game, and sadly Dublin won. No offense, just as 2021, and yeah, but my county did the best, and yeah. Now moving on to August. What can I say about August? No, seriously, think about it. What can I say about August? I'm not saying that it's bad or anything, it's just there's quite a lot to say about this year than I was expecting it to be. August was probably the most eventful month for me. Like, this channel turned 5 years old, which that's probably the highlight of August, and, oh, crap. Um, Yeah, my channel turned 5 years old, and I'm still working on the 5th anniversary video, even though it's not the 5th anniversary anymore, but it's going to be a late anniversary video, so I don't know when that's going to be released, which I haven't even worked on it yet, but I will start working on it soon, hopefully. If not, then I've no idea. And yeah, and I also got to go to the cinema, and I also went to the cinema as well. Like, I went to see Jungle Cruise twice and Free Guy, which Jungle Cruise was okay, and Free Guy was really good. I don't know about getting Jungle Cruise on DVD, Master CJ Kincaid, but I'll think about it. And yeah, and what else am I going to say about August? Um, oh, oh yeah, I forgot to mention back in July that I got my first vaccine. So, and that was pretty cool. And in August, I got my second dose, which I got a sore arm at first, and I pretty much got a headache, but I soon got better after that. And the vaccine is quite important, guys, because that protects you from COVID. Yes, you can still get COVID, but you won't get as sick from COVID, because that's what I've been hearing. And yeah. And what else could I say about August? August, August, August. Um August, 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 August. Another highlight about August. August, 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 August. August, 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 August. Sorry, I'm saying August quite a lot. It's just I'm trying to think about what I'm meant to say about it. August, August, August. I've been watching. I've been watching Netflix quite a lot, and it was really cool. And I also went to the and And during my last week of my summer holidays, and yes, that was the last month of my summer holidays, in case if I didn't tell you, I went to the Kenniskillen Hotel in Portlaoise, and we only stayed for one night because my sister was going back to school the day after we come back. And honestly, it was good, I guess. Not the best hotel, but still pretty cool. And yeah. And what else? Oh yeah, and we also went into the swimming pool, which honestly, the swimming pool's not big, but it's okay at best, actually. And what else? Oh yeah, and the day after when we left, we went around Portlaoise, and I went into Ken Black, and when I went to Ken Black, I was really surprised because it had a lot of stuff in there, like had old and new toys there, and it was really fun. Which you probably seen in my update video back in August I made about the stuff that I got on August 23rd, and it was pretty fun. And that was also the same day that All Engines Go was released. Well, in Mexico anyway. And the first 12 episodes of it were released back in August, and it was bad than I thought it was going to be. And the US terms of it were released as well, and honestly, I really didn't like All Engines Go. But the only things I do like about it are some of the character designs are okay, and some character personalities are fine, like Gordon's okay, James is okay, Cranky is okay, and Cranky's okay. Annie and Clarabelle are alright, and Skiff looks identical. Emily is because she doesn't really speak in any of her appearances, which she might, but I don't know. And and Edward and Henry's designs were okay, and what's worse is that they didn't even speak in their appearances. And there's one episode where Thomas refers to them as trains, like he says, "Oh no, it's gonna hit those trains," which he could have said, "Oh no, it's gonna hit Edward and Henry," which that would have been much better. Which I think Mattel told the writer who wrote this episode not to refer Edward and Henry by name because, let's be honest, Edward and Henry have been dying since 2017, and Mattel really didn't care about them, so, and it really shows. So yeah, and Bulstrode looked pretty cool, and Bulstrode I wasn't expecting to see, which I was really surprised that I saw Bulstrode in it, which the last time we had a Thomas character returning was Bulgy back in season 21, which I mean vehically, not humanize. And what else? And we haven't seen Bulstrode since season 4 actually. So it's been like 26 years at that point since we've last seen him. It's a really long time, and he's been getting lots of merchandise. Like he's been in Tomy, Trackmaster, blah blah blah. So yeah, loads of merchandise of him. And he was originally meant to return in season 10, but with a large scale model, but they couldn't finish him, so he was dropped. And yeah, and I also went back to school back in August, and I started transition year as well, and I got myself a new coordinator there because the other coordinator found a new job, so we have a new coordinator, which is a female one this time, which I'm not going to tell you the name because it's personal. So yeah, and my school year so far it's okay, I guess. It's pretty good as well, but it's most of the time it's okay. So yeah, it's quite different than the last ones I had. Like most of us are in the unit now, and some of them are in mainstream now. And yeah, and I think that's all I had to say about August. I don't really know what else I could say about it. Yeah, moving on. And in September, however, well, what can I say about September? September. I'm trying to think about what I meant to say about September. I don't really know, to be honest. I went to a lot of football matches and training as well, and it was pretty cool. And the highlight about September is I went back to my swimming again about almost a year because the last time I went was back in September of 2020, so it's almost been a year since I've last been to my swimming, which was a very long time, which I pretty enjoyed it. So yeah, and what else? I went to the cinema to see Shang-Chi and the Legend of this, and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which that was a pretty good movie, not gonna lie, and yeah, and it was also the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, which that's not a good thing because we all know what happened 21 years ago this year, which lots of lives were lost, and it was pretty tragic, even though I wasn't around back then, and I started knowing about it like 2 years ago, I think. So yeah, that was a pretty tragic day. And another thing I should mention about September is that Cartoonito launched in the US, and it shows like all Thomas and Friends, All Engines Go, Tom and Jerry Kids, Lucas the Spider, the Sesame Street programs, and what else? To name a few. And the new Thomas movie, Race for the Sodor Cup, which was not long announced, was released in cinemas, which is the first, which is not really like a movie, it's more like a long episode because it has the title in it and has the ending credits that you see in every episode. So yeah, I haven't watched the whole movie yet, but hopefully soon I will. So yeah. And I'm glad I didn't see it in cinemas because as much as I love Thomas, I'm not seeing that garbage in the cinema. No way in hell. And yeah. And what else can I say about September? Oh yeah, my mom had to go to the funeral thing in Manchester to see her uncle, and me, my dad, my brother, my sister had to stay home. And yeah, it was okay, I guess. And yeah. And I think that's all I have to say about September, right? There's not really much on what happened in September, or is there? Uh, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that I went to this healthy class, which I didn't really enjoy that much. I would have liked it more if it was done better, because I'm not trying to be offensive or anything, but there was too much. There was too. Oh, I don't want to say it. You know, I'm not gonna say it because it's a bit too offensive. So, and I don't want to, you know, get a lot of hate from it. So I'm not gonna talk about it because, you know. Anyways, moving on. Now we're gonna be moving on to October. October, on the other hand, was I have quite a lot to say about October. October was a pretty big month as well. October, Fireman Sam Season 13 was released, and so far it's really good, and it's now my new favorite season of the CGI series. And the animation in that season is really good. It's a big improvement than the last 7 seasons. I thought Season 12's animation was great, but looking at Season 13 to 12 back and forth, I think Season 13 is really good. Season 12 is still a good season, but after looking at the animation, it's not as good as I remember it to be. It's still good, but not really the best. But when I first saw it back in 2020, I thought it was the best animation. But then season 13 came along, my opinion had changed. And rumors are going around that season 13 might be the last season of Fireman Sam, which there's no announcement on season 14 yet, but I don't know if it'll be the last season. It might be, but we'll just have to wait and see. And so far there's only 11 episodes released. There are another few episodes that were released in... I can't remember what country it's in. I think it's in France or Germany, which are Norman and the Sea, The Y-Files 2, Beast of Pontypandy, which is a sequel to the episode from season 11, which is the first episode to be a sequel in the franchise, and Haunted Haycart, which those 3 episodes were pretty good, I guess, even though they weren't released in English yet, but they soon will be when they get released on Cartoonito. So yeah. And what else? And I also got to see 3 movies in October. Like, I got to see No Time to Die, which finally I got to see because that movie got delayed more than any other movie. The Addams Family 2 and Boss Baby 2 Family Business, even though it was released back in July. And yeah. And what else should I say about October? Well, yeah, I went to my neighbor's communion, that was pretty fun. And I'm trying to think about what else am I meant to say about October. Yeah, I went to Smith's again, and I got you've probably seen the update from October 16th, which I'll probably send the links to after when I do this video, so stay tuned for them. And oh my god, we're half an hour in this video. I never expected that this video would be too long. I thought it was going to be like 15 minutes, but no, this is long. And it's probably because of my stuttering and all that, so please forgive me. And what else? October. October. Oh yeah, I went to the circus back in on the 17th of October, and it was really funny. I really enjoyed the circus, and what else happened? I'm trying to think. What else happened in school? And yes, I am trying to fit. Oh yeah, and I watched Free Guy in school as well, which it was great that I watched it in the cinema as well. And yeah, after watching Free Guy on Disney Plus again in school, I really enjoyed it, like I always did. And is it my number one favorite movie of this year? Well, you're gonna have to find out in my top 10 favorite movies of all time, which I'll probably upload that later. And what else? There's quite a lot to say about 2020 because 2021 because it's been a pretty eventful year for me. And oh yeah, it was Halloween in October, and my Halloween break came along, and on the last day of school we had a costume party. Like I brought my Sonic the Hedgehog costume, and some of the teachers in the SNAs and some of the students got dressed up in fancy costumes as well, which they were dressed up as Superman, a witch, a spider, and a Batwoman, and one of the students were dressed up as Heidi, and what else? And I think that's it. Oh yeah, and a soldier as well, which that was pretty fun. And we also got to watch Halloween movies, and we also got to play the Nintendo Switch because my friend Andrew Goodguy brought in the Switch, and we played Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which that was pretty fun. Which not all of us played the Switch, only a few of us played it. Like 4 amount of us did. And yeah. And yes, we did a lot of subjects on that day, but luckily the Halloween party made it up for it. So yeah. And also and one bad thing that happened this month is that my old phone broke, and I had to get it replaced with a new phone, which there was another phone working in this house, but it used to be my mom's phone, but she lended it to me, which she uses a different phone as well. Which the phone I'm using now is the one that she used to have, but now she has the one with an orange case in it. But this was the one that she used back in 2019 or 2020. I don't know. Haven't asked her, but yeah. And and another highlight about the highlight about this month is that I went to is that my youth club went back on again after which I went back to the place that the youth club is usually, and yeah, it was really fun. I really enjoyed going back, even though it wasn't all of us, but I can understand that because the virus, and we had to go early, which was a bit of a disappointment, but it's all because of the COVID-19. And it was because of that Delta variant as well, which there's also a new variant called the Omicron variant, which because people are talking about it a lot at the moment, which hopefully in the next few months they'll stop talking about it. And what I've heard, I don't think COVID's going to be ending anytime soon, but we are hoping that we are hoping that, and we are getting close to the end of the COVID era, and even if COVID is gone, it's still going to be around, but it won't be as contagious as it once was. And yeah. And another negative thing about what happened in October is that Alec Baldwin shot and killed Helena Hutchins in the film Rust, and during the filming of the movie Rust, which that movie is likely to be cancelled because, you know. And another bad thing about October is that my dog, Poppy, had to go to the vet and she had to have an operation in her thing. And there was this kind of infection that she had that if they couldn't get it out soon, then she could have died. Which we were this close, which we were this close to losing Poppy, but thank God. And then she came home the following day, and then after the day she came back, we had to bring her back to the vet again, which I was pretty disappointed about. But luckily on November the 1st, she came home, and she's a lot better than she once was. So yeah. And another good thing about October is that I went to Cosmos with my friends for the first time in Liffey Valley, which we had a really good time, which I'm hoping to go to Cosmos again. And I went to Cosmos and I also went to Cosmos on Thursday as well, which was pretty cool. And I'm hoping to go there for my birthday, actually, for my birthday dinner. I wonder. So yeah. And after we went to Cosmos, me and my friends went to do some shopping, and yeah, it was pretty fun. And then Halloween came up, and then Halloween Day arrived, and yeah, Halloween Day arrived, and and it was pretty miserable. Not the day itself, no, but the weather was absolutely terrible because it was raining all night. And another bad thing is that I got an ear infection twice actually, or maybe 3 times or 4. I don't know. But luckily it's gone. But it's likely to come back. But let's hope not. And I had to take on I had to take on pills to get it off, and yeah, it was pretty sucky if you ask me. So yeah. And Halloween, even though it was raining outside, it was still pretty cool. I didn't get a lot of sweets that I would usually get, but it was still pretty good. And in 2020 we didn't do trick or treating of the second wave of COVID, and we were still in lockdown. And yeah, and we also had a bonfire, not at my house, but my sister's friend's house. And when we came back, we did a fireworks display, and we also did the sparklers, and yeah. So yeah, Halloween was pretty fun. And October, on the other hand, was pretty good. So yeah, I'm almost been uploading for an hour, and yeah. Anyways, we only have 2 more months to review, and then we'll be done this video. So moving on to November. So what am I supposed to say about November, to be honest? November was pretty good. I do have quite a lot to say about November. There's a lot of stuff that happened in November which I want to explain. So yeah. And on November the 1st, my dog Poppy came back after her being in the vet for like nearly a week at this point. And it was great to see her. And we also got to see her again the day before Halloween, but she had to go back in. And it was pretty cool. And she didn't come home until the 1st, like the day I'm reviewing now. And what else? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I had to stay at home because I had an ear infection, and yeah, and I'm gonna be telling you my favorite things about what happened in November. Like I went to go to Causey Farm with the TYs as well, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed that trip, and I'll never forget that day. And what's worse is that my mom my mom hurt her back, so she couldn't go anywhere for like 2 weeks, which that pretty sucked. But we soon got through it, and she's a lot better now than she once was. And yeah, she does get them every now and again, but they're not as sore as it once was. So pretty glad that she's better now. And yeah. What else? I'm trying to think about what else am I meant to say about November. Oh yeah, I went to see 2 movies. Like I got to see Ron's Gone Wrong, and I went to see Ghostbusters Afterlife with my school for the very first time. The last movie I saw with my school was Detective Pikachu back in 2019, and that was pretty fun. And before we went to the movie, we went to do some shopping, and you've probably seen the stuff that I got. And and after we did the shopping, we went to the food court, and we went to different, areas. And I went to McDonald's, and that was pretty fun. I really enjoyed McDonald's. And then after that, we went straight to the cinema. And after the cinema, we went back to the school. And by the time we went back to the school, it was home time. So yeah, that was a pretty fun day. And the toy show happened in November, which can't forget the toy show. And the toy show was fun as it once was. And Andrew, good guy, if you're watching this, I respect your opinion on the toy show. And I know he doesn't like the toy show anymore because he thinks it's too babyish. And yeah. What else could I say about November? There's a lot of stuff that I don't really remember about what happened in November. 52 minutes, guys. I didn't expect this video to be long at all. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention back in August, I started to do this football camp, and even though I'm not a fan of football, I still quite enjoyed it. Sorry I forgot to mention it back in August. So yeah, and in November, on the other hand, I went to my friend's 18th birthday party, and that was really fun in the zone. And I went to the zone again back in July, which that was really fun. And yeah, what else? And after my friend's party, we went to this Christmas fair in Summerhill in the community center, which it was okay, I guess. There wasn't really a lot of stuff there, but I could tell you it was pretty good. And yeah, and I also got to meet Santa Claus again, which the last time I met him was back in 2019. We couldn't meet him last year because of the whole pandemic, and we didn't have vaccines back then, so we wouldn't be safe. So yeah. And what else can I say about November? I think that's it. I don't really know what else I could say about November, to be honest. Um, yeah, that's November. Now we're going to be moving on to December, which was last month. And December was, it was pretty eventful again. Like, it was Christmas time, and we had to get ready for Christmas and everything, and it was a pretty busy month. And I also got to see 3 movies in December. Like I saw Encanto, and I also got to see Spider-Man No Way Home and Paddington. So yeah, those were pretty good movies. And hold on. I'm trying to think what I meant to say about December. Where shall I start? Um, Maybe I should start off with the bad because during on the 7th of November we had a storm named Storm Barra, and it was a pretty fearful storm. And when I heard that it was an orange level warning in my area, I was pretty annoyed. And what's worse, guys, is that schools shut down for the day, which that pretty sucked. But luckily we didn't lose any power, so thank God. We've had multiple storms in the past, and we didn't lose power. Well, we did in some of them, but not all of them. So yeah. And what else? Let me think about the good. Um, think about the good, 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 the good. The good, 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 good. Oh yeah, I had a Christmas party in my youth club, and that was pretty fun. Most of us did like activities like we watched a movie, and the movie that we watched was Arthur Christmas, which that's a really good Christmas movie. And what else? Oh yeah, and there was like balloons and drawings, and yeah, there was a lot of fun stuff at the Christmas party. And what else? I did quite a lot of shopping last month, and I can't really remember what else happened. Um, uh, Hold on, I'm trying to think about what I'm meant to say. Uh, Hmm. Anything exciting happened? Oh yeah, and we had the Christmas concert in the school, which we couldn't actually have the concert. We watched they had to do a video about it because, COVID. And they also did it back in 2020 as well. And even though it's not as good as actually watching the show in physically in person, but it was still fun watching it online. And yeah, and yeah, what else could I say? And we also had a Christmas party in school. Like on the last day of school, we did a lot of Christmas activities, which that was pretty fun. And when we were and just about when we were gonna go home, Santa Claus came into the school, which that I wasn't expecting at all. Which I was really surprised. Which I wish we could have done this back in first, second, and third year. Which that would have been pretty cool. But yeah. And Santa gave us presents, like obviously he gave us selection boxes, and he gave us some class materials, which that was pretty cool. And yeah. And what else? Oh yeah, and then my Christmas holiday starts, and the first day of it was not really interesting, honestly. And then all the other days was just about Christmas shopping, seeing my grandmother, and like I mentioned, me going to the cinema to see my friends to see Spider-Man No Way Home, and that was a really good movie. And what else? I also got to watch Wish Dragon and Clifford the Big Red Dog as well, which Wish Dragon was a pretty good movie and Clifford the Big Red Dog was terrible. And I also got to watch A Boy Called Christmas, which that movie was okay, I guess. It wasn't really the best movie, but it was still okay. So yeah. And then Christmas Eve came along and I went to see Paddington on Christmas Eve, and that was a pretty good movie. And after the movie, we did some Christmas shopping because it was the last day of doing the Christmas shopping. Oh my god, this video is on for an hour. Genie Mac. This is probably the longest video that I've done, not counting the live streams. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Christmas Eve was pretty busy because we had to rush everything because we had to get ready for Christmas, and we delivered the presents that we got for our family and friends, and it was a pretty busy day. And then Christmas Day came along, which it was also a very busy day as well. And I got all the stuff that I got for Christmas. Well, not all of it, but you probably know. And coincidentally, this day last week was Christmas Day. Boy, how does time fly so fast? Oh crap. I think this is like the third time I did it in this video. And yeah. I don't want to keep dragging on for too long because I don't want this video to be like 8 hours long, because if it was 8 hours then we would be here all day. And what else? Sorry. And my grandmother came over to my house on Christmas Day, which this is the second year that we had her for Christmas, which we couldn't have her on 2020 because COVID. And this is the second time we've had her for a Christmas dinner. The first time was 2019. And this was Poppy's first Christmas with us, and yeah. And we had a pretty fun day on Christmas. And St. Stephen's Day was nothing really interesting. We did do a 5k run, and that was pretty much it. And then we went to Liffey Valley, and my brother's girlfriend came along with us, and we did some shopping, and we were I was gonna go to the cinema, but we didn't really have enough time because, yeah. And we also went to Cosmo's for dinner, and that was pretty fun. Really enjoyed Cosmo's. So, yeah. And that's pretty much it. I don't really have that much to say about 2020. So, overall, 2020 was a pretty divestive year. It's okay as well, but it's not really the best year, honestly. I mean, it's better than 2020, mind you, but it's not as good as the other years that I have. And will 2022 be better? We'll just have to wait and see. Will this whole COVID pandemic end? Hopefully. And yeah. And sorry I didn't do a video on 2020 last year. It's just, I did do it, but when I uploaded it to YouTube, there was no audio, so I didn't bother doing it again. So, what did I think of 2020? I'll explain briefly about 2020. 2020 was a really bad year. I really didn't like 2020 because, the whole COVID pandemic stuff, and yeah. I only liked the first 2 months of 2020, and after that, everything just went downhill. And there were a few positives here or there, like the Thomas and Friends franchise turned 75 years old, and then sadly it ended last year. And I started to watch The Adventures of Paddington, and I watched a lot of shows during the lockdown, and I did a lot of walking. And yeah, so 2020 was really bad. Even though there were some good stuff that happened in 2020, but most of it was really bad, and some stuff I don't really fancy talking about because it's personal information for me. So yeah. So 2021 was, like I said, it was okay, but hopefully 2022 will be okay. I don't have my hopes on it just yet because 2022 just started, and yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So, what are your thoughts on 2021? Just let me know in the comments below, and yeah. So, yeah, I wasn't expecting this video to be long at all. Like, I thought it was going to be like half an hour, but an hour and 5 minutes? Wow. Just wow. This is probably the longest video I've ever done. Well, if you count the live streams, then... Well, if you don't count the live streams, then... Yes. And, yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I don't want to waste any more of your time or mine. So, we're just gonna leave it here. So, yeah. So, that's all for now. Stay tuned for some more videos coming up soon. And this is me signing off. And I have to get this video uploaded to YouTube before it's too late. Bye, guys.